the biggest promise your parents broke? When I was 7 years old, my mom made me a promise. She knelt beside my bed, tucked my favorite stuffed rabbit under my arm, and said, "No matter what happens, I'll be in the front row." At the time, it sounded like a normal thing for a parent to say. I didn't realize she'd spend the next 10 years breaking that promise one event at a time. My parents divorced when I was 6. Dad moved 3 states away. Mom got custody. And for a while, it was just the two of us. Every school play, every soccer game, every dance recital, Mom swore she'd be there. And every time she missed one, there was always a reason. Work emergency, car trouble, migraine, traffic. At first, I believed her. Because I was a kid. Kids are experts at forgiving the people they love. By middle school, I stopped looking for her in the crowd. It hurt less that way. Then came high school. My sophomore year, I qualified for the state debate championship. For the first time ever, I was terrified, excited, and desperate for my mom to show up. The night before the competition, she hugged me and smiled. I wouldn't miss this for the world. The next morning, her seat was empty. Again. Afterward, I checked my phone. One text, "Sorry, honey." Something came up. No explanation. No call. Nothing. I cried in a bathroom stall for 20 minutes. Not because I lost. I actually won. I cried because nobody was there when they announced it. A year later, I got accepted into one of the best universities in the state. I ran home holding the letter. Mom was sitting on the couch watching television. I handed it to her. She skimmed it, said congratulations, then went back to her show. That night, I heard her on the phone with a friend, talking for an hour about a coworker's engagement party. She never mentioned my acceptance once. That's when something changed inside me. I stopped asking, stopped expecting, stopped hoping. Senior year arrived. Graduation. The biggest day of my life. 3 weeks beforehand, Mom promised she'd be there. Not maybe, not probably, definitely. Front row, she said, just like I promised. The morning of graduation, she even texted me a heart emoji. For the first time in years, I believed her. I kept scanning the crowd before the ceremony started, looking for her face, looking for her smile, looking for proof that this time would be different. The ceremony began. Still no Mom. Halfway through, I felt my stomach sink. By the time they called my name, I already knew. Her seat was empty. Again. After graduation, everyone was taking pictures with their families. Parents hugging their kids, crying, laughing, holding flowers. I stood there alone, pretending to answer texts so nobody would notice. Then I heard someone call my name. I turned around and froze. It wasn't my mother. It was Mrs. Jenkins, my 3rd grade teacher, the woman who taught me multiplication, the woman I hadn't seen in almost a decade. She was holding flowers. "I hope you don't mind," she said softly. "When your mom mentioned she couldn't make it, I didn't want you standing here by yourself." I couldn't speak, because suddenly I realized something. This woman remembered a promise she never made, while my mother forgot one she'd made 100 times. Mrs. Jenkins took graduation photos with me, cheered louder than anyone, and afterward took me out for ice cream. It was the kindest thing anyone had ever done for me. That night, Mom finally called. No apology, no emergency, no tragedy. She'd simply forgotten. The word echoed in my head, forgotten. Like graduation was a dentist appointment, like I wasn't her daughter, like the promise she'd repeated my entire childhood meant nothing. I moved into my dorm 2 months later. Mom didn't come. I packed my car myself. Over the next 4 years, our conversations became shorter and shorter. Birthdays, holidays, occasional texts, nothing more. Then last year, I got married. 3 months before the wedding, Mom called, crying, begging, promising she'd finally make things right. "I'll be there, sweetheart." Front row. I swear. I listened quietly. Then I told her something I'd rehearsed in my head for years. I said, "The problem isn't that you broke your promise." She went silent. I continued. "The problem is that I spent half my life believing it." On my wedding day, the front row wasn't empty. Mrs. Jenkins was sitting there, holding flowers, just like she had at graduation. And when I walked down the aisle, I looked at her and smiled. Because sometimes the people who keep their promises aren't the ones who make them. And sometimes the biggest promise your parents break teaches you exactly who deserves a place in your life.